guys, and welcome to Stitch Therapy. My name is Campbell Eccles. I am a therapist by trade and a cross-stitch fanatic by obsession. And you have reached my channel. Hello. It is December 13th, guys. And it's been a while. I know. But I've tried to pack in a lot in this episode for you, in this floss tube for you. I have a whole rundown of things to do with you today. We've got some in the news, what's going on with cross stitch in the news, some articles I've found recently. We've got a little bit of science of why cross stitching is really good for your body, your soul, and heals trauma, and basically regulates you. Even when you're frogging and frustrated. I have some free Christmas patterns that I found online, and some, as recently as yesterday, Friday the 12th, I was going through Google and looking at new free patterns. So if you're new to cross stitch or you're a long time stitcher, you don't have to buy everything off Etsy, and you don't have to go buy the fancy patterns. There's really lots of cool cross stitch, everything from small patterns to full coverages that are free and available. And I'm going to give you some of those websites later on in the show. Like, this is an end of year show. I'm giving you a rundown, right? I've actually prepared this floss tube. I've also got some stash and stuff that's fun to look at, magazines that are from other countries that I found on eBay that I just thought, I'll give that a shot, a couple dollars, and I bought it. And I'll show you that. And then I'm going to round off today with top 10 things my inner cross stitcher said to me during 2025. Okay, so we're going to do that. But if you will have noticed, we started this show, this Flosstube show, we started today with a little bit of symphony music, Christmas music, which was played for you by our award-winning Waynesboro Symphony Orchestra. Yeah, so we are lucky enough to have them, and I went and saw their concert December 6th, the day before my birthday. Yes, I had a birthday on the December 7th. Yay! Yes, I did. And so I am now 60. Ta-da! I made it. 60 journeys around the sun. How cool is that? So I went with a bunch of friends to see the Waynesboro Symphony Orchestra, and so that's the music you heard at the beginning of this video, because I probably won't get another video out before 2026. So this is it, guys. Oh, you know what we're also going to do today? We're going to do whips, and we're going to do lots and lots and lots of whips. Behind me, I would like to introduce to you my whip board. Dun, dun, dun. That is actually something I found at a thrift shop. I think it's like a school planner for elementary school kids, or where they put files and stuff in it. I'm using it as my whips. These are all of my whips. So instead of having a whip go board on a computer or a laptop on my phone, I literally have a whip go board, a literal whip go file board on my wall, and I can just pull a whip out. So we'll go through those, and I'll show you kind of whips that I'm doing and what's going on. I'll also bring you up to date on my full coverages later. We'll do all that. But first, I want to say happy birthday, Dick Van Dyke. He is 100 years old today. Woo! Chim chimity, chim chimity, chim chim chimity. Yes, Dick Van Dyke, we love him, we love him. And there was an article in the on the news yesterday about Dick Van Dyke credits his longevity to one habit, and it's backed by science. Well, what is that habit? He says longevity requires remarkable positive outlook and never getting angry. And guess what? When we are cross-stitching, we're just doing it, man. We're doing what Dick Van Dyke recommends. We are keeping ourselves happy. Yes. Look at that guy's face. I just adore him. He's great. Okay, so Dick Van Dyke, 100 years old. Long may he reign. Had to say that up front. So there's a lot of news in cross-stitch land. If you Google cross-stitch on the news all over the world, there are articles that pop up. And I've done this before with you guys, but I thought, you know, end of year, let's do some end of year therapy type. Why is stitching good for therapy? Why does it help us? And I'm a therapist, so I'm going to give you the rundown, okay? So there's an article dated November 19th, 2025 in the Washington Post that says, cross-stitch comes with extraordinary benefits and a history of protest. Yes, it does. So this woman wrote this article. It's an op-ed piece, but it talks about some research that I have known about, but there's a more recent updated version of the creative craft and hand stitching research that people are doing all the time. Now what they're doing is they're looking at the research of how it affects our polyvagal system. What's the polyvagal system, Campbell? What is that? It is actually, it's where our automatic nervous system, in the polyvagal system, it's how our nervous system responds to the cues for safety and danger through the process of neuroreception. So think of it like this. There's a little guy in our brain. It's called the amygdala. And he's always scanning for safety, right? And if he feels like he's unsafe in any way, the amygdala will send out these little signals in our brain's neurotransmitters that goes, danger, 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 danger. And so the whole body responds with cortisol and different stress hormones. And then we get all uptight. And then our brain goes, what's happening? Okay. Polyvagal system is how your body reads the environment outside of you and how the amygdala responds in the neurotransmitters on the inside. And so the theory is there are all of these different styles of response to the world, and the vagal response is the one that soothes the inner neurons and says, quiet little amygdala, you're fine, you're safe, it's all good, everything's fine. Which is why on this channel we love meditation, and we love doing meta meditation at the end, because, or at least I do, I don't know if you do, but I do. So the reason we do that is that we invite loving kindness. We invite that little amygdala to calm down, and we invite that polyvagal system to go, hey, vagus nerve, take over, baby. Signals of safety, signals of calm. All right, so put it simply, Campbell. I will put it simply. By engaging in cross-stitch and other hand crafts, research shows that the body and its senses creates a safe way to process overwhelming emotions non-verbally, fostering self-regulation. Handcrafts and research and creative arts can shift the nervous system to register somatic connections, those neurotransmitters I was talking about, right? That enables safety in the nervous system's pathways, creating better social connection and calm and well-being. That oxytocin, that love chemical, and all of the serotonin that comes up in your brain when you're stitching, yeah, baby, it's cool. The gentle rhythm and sensory connection with needle and thread can help rewire the brain from trauma and PTSD into safety and neuroconnections with the world again. It's pretty astounding, the research that's out there now. I want to talk about an article I found about a vet who is doing just that. This is a gentleman who used to be a police officer in South Carolina, and after 9/11 he joined the Army. Okay, editing Campbell here, I'm jumping in. The gentleman's name is David Gerardo, and I'll tell you his story. He was deployed to Qatar, overseas after 9/11, in Afghanistan, and he came home several years later. I think after 2 deployments, it was 2013, he was discharged home. he was diagnosed at the VA with PTSD. And he was having a hard time adjusting and dealing with depression and all kinds of things. And 26 of the men from his unit that came home with him committed suicide in the first 2 years that they were home. And he was really distraught. He went to the VA. You know, he was getting therapy. He was trying to do everything he could do. One of the members of his family, one of the men that he admired in his family, was cross-stitching one day. He walked into the room and he saw this guy cross-stitching. So he picked up a needle and thread with him. And he said it rewired everything. It got him to focus on just the needle and the thread. All the other stuff, all the other noise in his brain, it just pushed it away. And it literally, we know what the science is. The science is it rewired his brain for calm. It rewired his nervous system for safety. So it's a remarkable thing. And that article was just wonderful, and I wanted to share that with you. So, you know, if somebody's bitching at you because you're not cleaning the house and you're sitting there stitching, stitch on, friends. You are rewiring and keeping your brain safe for humanity. So stitch on. So emotional therapy, rewiring the brain, cross stitch. Yes, we're on it. The other thing that happens with men and cross stitch, as we're talking about men, there's a wonderful article by a guy named Mike Reynolds. I found this in the news too recently for the Huffington Post. All right. Mike Reynolds is a guest writer for the Huffington Post. He writes in the article dated February 25th, 2018. The article is What I Learned About Masculinity When I Let Myself Start Cross-Stitching. Okay. And the subtitle is I'm Not the Only Man Who Is Afraid to Try Something He Might Enjoy. Okay. Mike Reynolds says he does a lot of feminist stitching. His first stitch was a piece of Michelle Obama. And he says in the article, there has been something extremely freeing in watching a character develop on the cloth from my own fingers. It has helped me greatly with my anxiety. Again, we're going back to the nervous system, calming the nervous system, finding peace, bringing up serotonin, bringing up the oxytocin, all that good chemistry, healing the neurotransmitters. He says, in moments when my brain is normally looking for things to criticize about myself, it has instead been focused on finding the right stitch for instance, my Mary Curie piece. Or it's been feeling proud of my Miss Marvel when she shows up on what was previously an empty piece of cloth. Fabulous. But the article is better. It goes on. He says, as many of us know, there's a certain fragility to masculinity that means we sometimes don't feel we have permission to do something until we've seen one of our own doing that thing too. We are strange, and we are wrong to think like this. So he's basically calling out other men and saying, look, dude, get over yourself. Pick up a needle and thread. He has taught his daughters how to cross stitch, and in the article he says, about a week after I started stitching, both my daughters asked if they could start their own projects with me. It was satisfying to realize that to them, cross-stitching isn't a gender activity. They don't see it as something men do or something as women do. Gender roles and expectations are important things to talk about with our kids, but they're even more important for us to show them. What they see is their dad smiling and occasionally swearing as he works on something that makes him happy. Man, what a great article. When I read that, I thought, I just want to share that with everybody. Mr. Gerardo's experience with recovering from his PTSD, and Mike Reynolds, this guest writer for Huffington Post. There's another article about an Army wife who promotes cross-stitch to help military spouses for when their husbands are deployed, and she works with their families, their children, and the wives of military people. She is in Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and this is an article from March 21st, 2019, and she says, cross-stitching is my therapy. Her name is Ella Foyley, F-O-L-E-Y. When she packs to go on a trip, she decides which cross-stitch projects to take with her because she thinks about them more than her clothes. How many of us have that experience? Okay, so she talks about taking her cross-stitch with her, and she travels, and she does USO tours to different bases, and she offers cross-stitch to families, and she brings them in and offers wives and children and families, people, places to cross-stitch. And she says, on March 12th, she was at a USO center teaching young military spouses how to cross-stitch at the monthly Coffee Connections that they have there. This is a national level USO program that extends to centers as far away as Germany and Qatar. And the center's operations, says the operations programming manager. The idea behind it is that it just gives spouses an opportunity to come together over coffee and pastries. Here in Oklahoma, we like to throw in craft or do-it-yourself type of thing. It helps folks stay busy. But it's really just an opportunity for women to come together with their children and talk about life as a military spouse, and hopefully leave with a couple of friends, but definitely a mug of coffee. These are some of the things that you can find online. I found another interesting article from 2022, April 9th. Mother and daughter turned former church into a cross-stitch business. It says Ori Morillo and her daughter Laura took a leap of faith and bought a church and started their own business. What used to be the First Church of Christ in Riverview is now Riverview Stitching, a store specializing in cross-stitch patterns and supplies. It talks a little bit about their history. They are immigrants from Venezuela. It says, growing up in Venezuela, Aura learned how to stitch at the age of 5. As her paternal grandmother meticulously worked on stitching and tablecloth, Aura worked on napkins, making 5 stitches to create a flower. So she and her daughter, who is first-generation American here, they now run Riverview Stitching. And I just think that's a beautiful story. So I just love this. That's Monroe News. That was in the Monroe News in Illinois, for those of you looking for that article. So that's just some of the things I wanted to bring that was hot off the news for you. I know this is going to be a long one, guys. This is going to be a long one. I hope you're having a good time stitching with me as you are listening to all the research and the science and why I love stitching as therapy, why cross stitch really is my therapy, and why I named my channel what I did. Let's see, where do I go from here? Oh, let's talk about free Christmas patterns. Okay, first we've got, and I will put the links in the notes section of this. I'll put the links below this video for you if you would like to check out some of these websites. Free Christmas patterns and miscellaneous. You know, from last year I went through all those magazines. I'm not going to do that this year. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. It was boring. It was boring, and many of you liked it, but some of you didn't. So I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is say that look at all the stack of free patterns that I found online. Like, it's huge. This is just some of them. Okay. So the first one is Country Living Patterns. Okay. That they have, oh my God, it's just pages and pages and pages of free patterns. I only printed out a few. Let me show you some of these. Aren't those cute? It's a wheelbarrow and a little holly. And these are just little things. You could do these as ornaments, right? You could do these as ornaments. One of the other ones I thought was really cool was Oh, they've got furniture, a hutch pattern, a bell pattern, and a stove pattern. I liked the stove pattern. I thought that was really cute, right? And they're free. These are all free. I will put the link below. There is a life preserver, a porch swing, a flower pattern, a claw-footed bathtub. Dig that, guys. What's also cool about the Country Living free cross-stitch patterns is that underneath, when you click on it, it says what issue of Country Living magazine that these were printed in. For instance, the ones that I just told you were from, I guess they start 2026. No, December 2025, January 26 was these. But they go all the way back to, I think, the earliest magazines, which was 2016? 2015, right? So it's literally, it's just pages and pages and pages of free patterns. Okay, next I found LoveCraft page. If you don't know anything about LoveCraft, they have a lot of Anchor and DMC patterns that are free to download because they teach you. They also give you like if you've never done crewel work or if you've never done silk work or anything like that, the LoveCraft page has all of that, and it'll give you the links to the DMC. What's next? Wizardy. You guys know about Wizardy? Oh, please check it out. They've got Christmas patterns free right now this month. Also online is the Fat Quarter Shop, has some really cute little cute patterns. The Quilter's Blog has a really cute Christmas bird and holly stitch. That's somebody's personal blog. It's not like a big company website. It's somebody's blog, but you can still find it. It's in the links below. So some other free pattern websites for those of you who know where the World of Cross Stitch magazine comes from, that website gathered.com. They had a cute Christmas page that was free. And because it was free, I'm going to show you what the patterns are. But look at that little llama. Fa la 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 llama. with the little Christmas lights all over him. And then the two avocados that says Merry Christmas to my other half. That would be a cute quick stitch. And then ho ho ho. And one of the gingerbread guys is ho ho oh. Got his head chopped off. Got it eaten. Got his head eaten off. So that's fun. Where am I going? Oh, so there's a new, I didn't know about this site, but I found it. It was under a cross stitch website called Badass Cross Stitch. I won't go into too much detail, but it's irreverent, let's put it that way, and it's really fun, and it is definitely a badass website, and they have some free patterns there. So check out Badass Cross Stitch for those of you who are politically minded and maybe just want to tell somebody to go. They have a pattern for that. Okay, enough said. Owlforest Embroidery. Owlforest Embroidery. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. So many beautiful patterns for free. A friend of mine from my stitching group last year turned me on to this, and we were all on the Zoom stitching thing that we do every Friday night or Wednesday, whatever it was. It was last year, a while ago. We've been going for a couple of years, my cross stitch group. And anyway, one of the women, Lori, turned me on to Owlforest, and we, of course, I went on during our session and started downloading all these free patterns. Amazing. It's just an amazing site, so check that one out. For those of you who like full coverage patterns, right now, Heaven and Earth Designs has 2 free full coverages by Michael Sietta. One is called Gazing Galaxy, and I'm going to try and hold this up so you can see it. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. The other one that's charted by Michael Sietta, but it's artwork by Malcolm Watson, is this one. It's an owl. It's a steampunk owl kind of thing. Yeah. It looks like it was kind of done through AI a little bit, but it's okay. So the last full coverage that I found was on a website called Zanna, ZANNA Cross Stitch Free Patterns. I just thought this was beautiful, and it was a full coverage. Wow. Right? I thought that was fantastic. And it's just, and it's nice big print too. The blocks are only 40 by 50 per page, so they're nice big blocks when you print it out. And of course it's a lot of pages, you know, but it's bigger blocks, so each page goes quicker. It uses 66 DMC colors. It's 400 by 400 by 400. I just thought that was really nice. What a generous pattern, right? To do that. Oh, I found this on, I'm not sure, one of the just to give you a little bit of a what it's like on the LoveCraft page. I found this autumn fox for free. And this is a Zweigart advertisement, but they give you the pattern for free. It's very quick. It's a quick stitch. It's only that big. Oh, it's only that big. So it talks about like fabrics and needlework, and you know, Zweigart is trying to sell fabric, so of course they do that. But they, yeah, it's fun. It's fun to be able to find a little quick autumn stitch. And then this indigo bouquet was done by DMC, and this is really lovely too. It's just a quick pattern, and it has two sides to it. Just really quick, and of course DMC wants you to buy their floss, so that's why they're giving you a free pattern. But it's really nice, and I was thinking that would be really nice on a card. Just a little. It's probably about this big. It's only how big is this? It was charted in 2017, so it's been up on their free on the free DMC webpage for a while. It's only 14 by. It's like 14 by 5. I mean, it's small. So yeah, free patterns. Go look for them. They're out there. What's next? I think I want to move in to tell you about stash and stuff. Are you ready? Let's take a sip. Let's slow down a little. Take a sip. Take a sip. Okay. I introduced you to my whip wall. I'm going to call it my whip wall now. There we go. It's my whip wall. There you go. So one of the wonderful things that I bought recently, do you guys have an Ollie's near you? It's an Ollie's warehouse store. And here in Virginia on TV and on the radio, they have this jingle that goes, Ollie's, great stuff. Okay. I don't know. And hi, if you think it's weird that the light has changed, it's because it's probably an hour after I filmed that last section. My phone went off and things happened, and I'm back. So I'll pick up where we left off, talking about Ollie's and what I found at Ollie's. Stash. I did. I found a fantastic lamp, and I'm going to try and do this without making you nauseous by turning the camera, okay? This is the lamp. Yay. Okay, this is what it does. Oh, can you see? I don't know if I'm doing this right. Okay, it goes all the way around. It's called a Circuit 360. It turns all the way around, and the head on this lamp goes all the way around, up and down like this. And it's got a little handle that moves up and down like this. So it goes up and down like this, and it goes all the way around in a circle. It's very exciting. Okay, so I got this lamp that I've been wanting, like a really good stitchy lamp. It's fantastic. And it's good for filming, it's good for stitching, it's just great. So, I bought this lamp, it was like $29 and something cents. I got home and it is a, where's my thing? Where's my, oh no, I have the proof. It's a real, here's, look. Oh, it's from the Circuit Company. Or Cricket, sorry. I keep saying Circuit. It's Cricket. That's dyslexia for you. Seriously, people. I mix up my words all the time. Yes, I'm an educated woman with a master's degree, but I still have dyslexia. Okay, right. So this is the little card that came with it, with the little lamp. Let's get started. Okay, so it talks about how wonderful it is. That's what it looks like. That's the diagram, right? It goes all the way around. It has all this stuff, and then it has the gradation of light on it. It has all the light thing, and then it has the brightness. So here's the gradation of light. Ooh, 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 ooh. And then, oh, oh, oh. I freaking love this lamp. Okay, I love it so much that I bought another one for my desk by my bed so that I can stitch in my bed. But this is a standing one. And it's just very fun and very wonderful. And thank you, Ollie's, for my wonderful lamp. I looked them up online. This Cricket lamp is anywhere between $45 and $105, depending on who's selling it. And Ollie's, great stuff, had it for like $29.99 or $30 or whatever it was. I was thrilled. I bought two, and I wish I had gone back and bought three. Actually, I went back with a friend. She needed a lamp for her office. She works in Stanton, and she works in a small room in a church, like a sort of a Gothic stone church. She's the graphic designer for this church in Stanton, and so I said to her, "Oh, we got to go to Ollie's. You need to get a standing lamp." So she got a standing lamp for like $30 for her office, and she adores it. And it's so nice. It sort of hangs over the desk, and you can move it, and it's just great. Okay, that's the first big stash that I got. The second little stash was from a thrift shop. And how much did I pay for this? Oh, you guys are going to be really irritated with me. Or maybe you'll be thrilled for me. I don't know. How do you feel when somebody buys something at the thrift shop and they go, ooh, 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 I found this really cool thing and it was only 99 cents. Does that thrill you? Or does it make you go, I never find anything like that? Okay, well, this is what I found. Metal wreaths. Hello. Look, two of them. Two of them. Yay! 99 cents. I'm so excited. I'm thinking, you know that little fox that I showed you? This little fox pattern? Hey, dig this. Fox pattern inside of here with like fall, autumn leaves around it. Ah, yes. I'm liking this. Okay. So things like that can go in here. That's another stitchy stash. What else did I get? I have a bunch of other stuff in stash. Sorry, I'm forgetting all the stash. I'm telling you guys, I have so much stuff here. Oh, cool ideas. That's for later. Cool ideas. Oh, I got, and I don't know if they're here. I don't think they're out. But I got a, it's a die cut that you can put paper in the die cut and you can do perforated paper, basically. Okay, I'm back. So I found them. Ta-da! This is the one that is, if you can see, I put it in my my die cut envelopes that I had bought. And I got these on Amazon. They're little magnet sheets that you can get to stick your dies on. And then you can stick them in these envelopes so that they stay protected and don't get dust and dirt in them. Anyway, they're teeny tiny little holy holes. Little holes. Ooh, little holes. So, yeah, I'm excited to see how that goes. It looks like it's like a 20 count. It looks very small, but we'll see how it goes. The other die cut is, and these are from a company called Waffle Flower Crafts is the name of the company that makes these. This one is the stamp shape. It's kind of a large stamp, but you know, some of those little stamp patterns, you could do it just on a larger one. It would be, you know, you could just do it on that. It says stitchable pinking rectangular die. Anyway, Waffle Flower Company. That's who makes these. So that was fun stash. Now I didn't get that from a thrift shop. I got that from a regular online seller. But again, it was just me doodling around on Googling around on Google, and looking for fun stuff that have to do with cross stitch. So when I got my die cut machine roller that I did that one episode where I unpacked it and used it for the first time, and I have used it a couple times, I'm still exploring it and learning new things and finding new dies and but what came in that was a box of cards and envelopes. So I'm wondering, hey, maybe, maybe that would fit this. Maybe these cards, I could do this and I could just stitch on the card. That will be in the future. I have a whole section at the end of this video about plans for 2026, but that's later. Shh, keep stitching, keep stitching. Sip, keep stitching. Okay, but back to thrift shopping stash. What did I find out at the thrift shop? Okay, I found a book by Betty Owlforest about macrame. I know, it's silly. Okay, this was exactly, the original price was $2 whole dollars, and it was discounted at some point to $1. I got it for 10 cents. Okay, there's a new thrift shop right down the street from my house. How lucky am I? Everybody should move to Waynesboro, by God, Virginia. It's a wonderful place to live. Okay. And I have a thrift shop, a new thrift shop right down the street from my house, and I love it. Okay, 1971. Thank you, Betty. Betty Owlforest macrame book. You know, 2026 might be my macrame year. Let's bring back macrame, how about? Anyway, I thought that was cute. That was in my stash. Let's see. What else have I got? On the list, okay, die cuts, showed you that. Thrifty things. See, I made a list. This episode, guys, this end of the year, I'm trying to be more prepared and more professional for you guys out there, floss tubers. Trying to make it interesting and fun, but still not quite so ADHD and like I'm jumping around looking at squirrels all over the place. Trying to keep it organized. Okay. Die cuts. So, cross stitch bookmarks for clients. I mentioned that, did I mention it? I think I did. Yes, I did. That I'm going to be doing cross stitch bookmarks with clients with ADHD and autism. And I wanted to show you that I got this thing on Amazon. You can buy these packs. They come in a box like this. Thank you, China. You open up the box, and in the box, it's kind of a mess. You have to kit every single thing, right? But in the box, what happens is, I will show you. There's a bunch of floss. Wow. Lots of floss. It's not DMC, it's China. But it's not bad quality, actually. I mean, yeah, it's not bad quality. I got 3 boxes, and I don't know the company. It was just Amazon. I mean, I just went Amazon, printed bookmark cross stitches, and these were the ones that I got. And my client, who is a young man, and he is just turned 18, and he's finishing high school, and he's feeling nervous about it. And so he said to me, you know, I'd like to try that cross stitch thing. Maybe it would help calm me down and I wouldn't be so afraid of needles. I was like, yeah, let's do it. So we're gonna do that. And I have another client who's a long haul truck driver, and she wants to do some cross stitch too, once she gets her insurance sorted out. But they look like this. They're stamped. They look like this. Isn't that one pretty? I like that one. Here you go. So these are all like sky scenes. Scenes from the sky. From the sky. I think this is the one he wants to do. So I'm going to kit them up, and they come with a pack of needles and some needle threaders. And then they also come with these little sticky backs. So once you finish the bookmark and you wash it in warm water and you iron it out, they have these sticky backs. It's sort of soft and felty on one side. The other side is the sticky, and you just peel it off, stick it on the back, and your bookmark is good to go. I thought that was really clever. And I just think, you know, you get a pack of 6 or whatever it is, and who knows? You never know. If you have one of these laying around, or your grandchildren maybe will be, Grandma, what's in that box? Oh, why don't you want to know? Ha ha. Pick it up, find out. And you know, but I would say be careful, keep these away from cats. Right? Keep the box away from cats. They will get Stuart, get away from the box, Stuart. Okay. So yeah, that's that. That's new stash. What else? I found some stickies for my needlework book. This book, this is actually a good segue, because this was this year's Needlework Enthusiasts, right? And as you guys know, a lot of you do this. I put smileys on every day that I stitch, and I have lots of pictures and stickies. So I put some sticky boots and some bears. And so this is the past year of my stitching and all of that. I'm on December now, so that means I'm going to need a new calendar. Well, the Needlework Enthusiasts Book of Days for next year has a cover on it that I'm not very fond of. It has a sampler with a religious thing on it, which the samplers did, you know, that was turn of the century. Yeah. Young ladies writing, you know, God of my maker or whatever it is. It's just not, I liked this picture, and I liked this size, and I liked the size of the things, but I didn't necessarily want the next book of Needlework Book of Days. So I went a hunting, which brings me to the next thing on my list. Calendars. Okay. Let me show you some calendars that I got. And this is a special thing that I'll do at the end. Okay. So these are some stickers that I got at Ollie's. Great stuff for $1. Ooh, this is bright now. Let me move that light. See, I can move the light. Yay! It has 2 sides of these stickers, and it was only $1 for all these stickers. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Although the stickers I'm finding are sort of falling off the sticker page, so I might need to reinvest in some tacky glue to put them into the book. Anyway, so the calendars that I looked at, I liked the size of this one. I really like the size of this. So, and I liked the big squares in this, right? So that I had lots of room for stickers and other little silly things, and I could write on it which pattern I was working on, and then I could count the days of how long a pattern took. Oh, October was a big month. Wow, kind of fun. Lots of stitching in October. Woohoo! Did I have a finish in October? I think I did. No, I just worked on Soul and Intellect and Steampunk Cat Daddy all through October. I didn't do anything else. Anyway, it's as much about decorating the calendar for me as it is marking off my stitching. So I wanted something that was this size. So I went to calendars.com and I found one that was the same size. Yes. So I wanted to show you that. It's a lovely calendar. It's called 13-Month Field Guide Calendar. Isn't it pretty? 2025, the Lang Companies. Waukesha, Wisconsin. So you get this lovely calendar in the mail, and it has a little envelope, which I think is very classy. And it has a really nice textured cover with the same artist inside. It's a Susan Wingett. Susan Wingett. I'm terrible with names, guys. I'm really, have you noticed? I trip over every name I try to say. Okay, but look at how nice and big the pages are. Wow. Wow. And it's already decorated. Wow. So I'm almost not going to want to put new stickers in here because look how pretty all of her art is. Susan Wingett's art is just beautiful. And you know what I found out was when I got this one, it was like, oh, it's very similar to the one I was using at my office desk on 2025. This one. And this one had lots and lots of beautiful watercolor pages in it from this year. I loved this calendar. I didn't really write in it because I didn't want to mess up the pages. Like for instance, ooh, look at the December owl. Isn't that great? And then this is the one for this week. I love it. So this has been sitting on my desk at the office, and I just brought it home for the rest of the year to sit on my desk here. So that calendar, when I saw this one, I was inspired because I thought, oh, I like the nature theme. And so I think I'm going to do this one. But there was a runner-up. And the runner-up to this calendar, it's hard. It's hard because I think this might be my desk calendar at work now. The runner-up was, and just because it's a little smaller, that's all. Mary Engelbright, you are a work of art. So I think I'm going to carry this one to work with me, and it's going to be my work. Every artist dips his brush in his own soul and paints his own nature into his pictures. Henry Ward Beecher. I love Mary Engelbright, and I have a cross-stitch pattern of hers, and I have all kinds of, you know, sticker books and stuff that have her stuff on it. I like this style. Thank you, Mary Engelbright, for everything you're doing out there, for being a sassy artist and keeping us all on our toes. You're fabulous, and I bought your calendar. Okay, so if you're watching, I bought your calendar. Okay. She's probably not watching. Nobody watches me. No, sorry. There was a last one that I didn't know if it was going to be a large one. I thought it was going to be as large as this one. It was also by the same company. I thought it was going to be as large as this one. It wasn't. It was a tiny one. I thought, oh, well, I'll buy that one too because that one's pretty. And maybe if it's, but no, it's teeny tiny, itty bitty. So maybe this will be my travel calendar, my travel cross stitch calendar, right? Like maybe. It's pretty though. It's really pretty and it's small and I do like the colors. Ah, Color My World 13-month pocket calendar. Lisa caught, I'm going to say her name wrong. Kaus. 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 I said it wrong, didn't I? I did. I said it. I know. I said it wrong. But it's really wonderful, Lisa. I like this. Thank you very much. It also comes in this, the Lang Company does a great job at selling these calendars.com, whatever, because I like the little pocket it goes into. Zip. That's very nice. And then this, but I think this is going to be the Everyday Stitchy book calendar for 2026. So I know you were really worried about it. I know. You really didn't know what I was going to do if I didn't have another needlework enthusiast, pocket. You know what else I found? I found, and I probably am not going to use them, but I found these cross stitch planners. Have you ever seen these? And they have it for the year on the front of it. The Stitcher's Almanac 2026. Do you guys know that these exist? I found this online too. I think I found it on Amazon. The 2026 Stitcher's Almanac is your companion for a year of creativity, a place to plan projects, track progress, and celebrate your achievements. Inside, you'll find monthly calendars, logs for stats, finishes, whip trackers, stitching goals, expense records, and prompts to reflect on your journey. Everything you need to stay organized and inspired all year long. Well, that sounds like a full-time job, taking care of this. I'm pretty good about putting a sticker in a book and writing the initials of what the project is, just to keep track of how many days I'm stitching on it. But this seems really intensive. I mean, a year in review? Let's see. Let's just go to the middle of the book. What does, oh, wow. Monthly goals, Q3s. Oh, okay. I don't know. I think I would feel a lot of pressure using this book. Like, pressure, man. I wrote it down. I'm gonna fail. I'm not good with that kind of stuff. But anyway, Thread Harmony is another one that I got just because I was curious. I'm a woman with disposable income that's just for cross stitch stuff. So I got these books just to see what they were. I don't think they have to be 2026. I mean, yes, they have a calendar in here. They do. They have a calendar in here that is based on 2026. But quite honestly, you could use it any year because you could use it any year and just ignore the days. You could just use it as numbers. Like I could use it on 2027 and just move the box over. It doesn't matter. Anyway, this might be a regifted something for somebody. I don't know. But there's that, and then there's this one. Cross Stitch and Embroidery Planner 2026. So same kind of deal. But what's interesting about this one is it has a thread list for this project. So I kind of like this one because you have the project name. Oh, let me go. You have the project name over here, and it has all of the size of the project. It says, well, gift designer, the recipient, what is the occasion, the type of embroidered gift, embroidery theme, completion, budget, completion time, add customer's name. I mean, I guess this is more of like, But you could change those things, you know, you could change this to say project start date, size of project, so many numbers wide, so many numbers high, and then put all your colors in a list if you want it to be that organized. I know, I see some people with their floss tubes and they have these really pristine, beautiful rooms with white cabinets and pull-out drawers that are all organized, and they have all of their beautiful framed finished pieces on the back wall, and they would like this book. They might like this. So if anybody out there is like that, just email me at campbellcraftstitcher.com and I'll send you this, because I don't think I'm that fastidious. I don't think I'll ever use these two. So anyway, just thought I'd throw that out there. What's next on the list? We did calendars and we did the things. Oh, I was going to show you my very beautiful, I think it's Russian, cross-stitch magazine that I got on eBay. Does anybody speak Russian? I actually did a translation on my phone with this, so I actually know what it is, but it was like $6. It is the most interesting $6 I ever spent on eBay. I really, really like it, and I like the lettering. I don't know if it's Russian or Ukrainian or what, I don't know. But I like the lettering, and I love the patterns. Oh, they're so cool. This one looks really cool. I'll get a close-up of that. This is a 3D house. It's a beach house with those, look at those little banners. That's like my house. That's like me. That's me. That's my stitchy room. Yay! We like that. And another one that I liked, oh, this was cool. When I put the phone to translate this, it was very cool to see the names of all of these vegetables in Russian. And then you put the phone over it with the Google Translate, and it says garlic, beets. Look, pauk, it's beets. And then this is pumpkin, of course, broccoli, pumpkin squash, tomato. So cool. So cool to see things in different. I really love this one. I want to do the cover one. That's what got me. Was the house and then these flowers. Oh, I really want to do those flowers. They look so much fun. And it's Bothy threads. It's a Bothy threads pattern. It's just lovely. It's a really lovely magazine. Oh, here's a picture of the house it's a larger picture of the house. There it is. Isn't that cute? I so like this pattern. It's a lot of block stitching, but actually there's more shades of coloring in there. I mean, the white looks like it is a lot of, no, actually it's not. There's more grades in here than you would think. Interesting. Okay, so it's maybe not so boring of a stitch now that I look at it closer. Yeah, the checkbook wallet thing. It translates to be pocket wallet or something. I think I remember that. I kind of like that. The skull, the what do you call it? Bergadello. I like it. So there's that. That was my Etsy magazine find. It's already been Thanksgiving, so you guys probably already have your fall Just Cross Stitch and your Christmas Just Cross Stitch magazine with all the Christmas, and I think I showed some of that last time. But the latest winter stitching just came in, and so this is the 2025 Sal and Series wrap-ups, and also has winter stitches in it. And it's the latest Just Cross Stitch. And as always, I will show you the back page instead of trying to flip through and bore you all by showing you. But there are a couple of these that I think are very sweet. Okay, we have a bear in his winter den. We have a little girl. I like the bear with the girl. That one. Whoop, that one. I like that one. I might be able to find that one bigger. It's a very cute pattern. I think you should see it. I just think you should. So just, oh, this one's really cute. So anybody out there with this magazine, with this Just Cross Stitch magazine, who's doing this one? Put in the chat if you're going to do this one. It's a dog with paint. It's a puppy painted pup. If anybody's doing that, let me know. I might just kit it up and do it with you. Wow, we could do a Stitchy Sal together just on my channel. We could do a Stitch Therapy Sal on one of these. I don't know. We could stitch together. Anyway, what's the one that where's the, hang on for a moment. It's on page 10. It's really cute. You just have to find it. There it is. It's called Bear Hug. Of course it is. Aww. I like that they use beads. Those are white beads. Those are Mill Hill beads instead of French knots. Yeah. It's nice that they use beads instead of French knots. That's very kind of the creator of the pattern. Anyway, that's Just Cross Stitch Winter Addiction. Addiction? Winter Addiction. Yes, there it is. There's also, I wanted to point out a couple things about how people are using their cross stitch, how they're doing fully finishes before I show you that I don't have any fully finished. I have a finish, but I don't have a fully finished piece yet. But I did get a pattern finished, and I'll show you that in a bit. But somebody online, there's a pattern I have that I would like to do, and it's been in my pattern box to do a long time. But I looked up online, and this woman named Hannah Watkins of Phoenix, Arizona. Hannah, if you're watching, I admire your work, and I'm going to show the picture here. She is at Swarthmore College, and this is a picture of her denim jacket with a cross-stitch thing on the back from October 15th, 2020 of the Swarthmore College magazine. And she just did a beautiful job of this, and you probably will recognize this pattern. Isn't that great? I love this pattern, and I've had this pattern for a really long time. As a matter of fact, I think I have more than one copy of this pattern because I think I bought another book that had it in it of a compilation of all these artists, and it had this in there too. But this was in the, again, I was Googling cross stitch and it popped up, Swarthmore College 2020 magazine, something about magazine or something, or what people are doing. Anyway, this was her, this is what she put in there. And she's done a beautiful job, like the close clipping of the edges, and then she must have just like glued the edges around and clipped it really closely, or sewed them in. Maybe she sewed them in. Just a beautiful job. I would be so proud to have a jacket like that. So Hannah Watkins, wherever you are from Phoenix, Arizona, I love your work. It's very beautiful, and I think that you really did honor your craft by putting it on the back of your jacket like that. Wow, just don't go like mud biking or something in your jacket, okay? Like, this is definitely to go two-stepping in a bar and do something fun in. Don't like go motorcycle racing in this jacket. It's too special. It's very beautiful. So that was some fun stuff. Calendars, stitching almanacs. And then the last thing I bought, this is, it's not cross stitch related, but I am an admirer, and I think I've said this before in other videos because I have some of their books, the Royal School of Needlework in London, founded in 1872. Yes, I'm a geek, I know. They have a new product for those of us who want to branch out our stitching in 2026. It's called the Embroidery Stitches Card Deck. Dig it. It looks like this. You open it up. I'm going to move this light again because it's getting too light in here. Okay. It's getting too hot. The light's getting too hot. Okay, so you open it up, and then this little booklet is on top. You take that off, and then, for instance, French, oh, it's too hot. This light's too hot. Sorry, guys. Hang on. Okay. So, for instance, you have these cards. And each one of the cards has a different stitch. It shows you the picture of the stitch on it. And then on the back, it shows you step-by-step instructions of how to do the stitch. And I think this is such a cool resource because I have their books, and many of their books are spiral bound so that you can lay them flat on a table. But this is just, I don't know. Me like some cards, you know. I just, it feels good in my hand, and I can just go, oh, which stitch will I do? Pull the card. Yay! So if you like embroidery, this is the latest from the Royal Needlework, the Royal School of Needlework in London, in Kent, actually, technically, in Kent, England. Kent is in a suburb of London. Anyway, there it is. So this was my I guess my Christmas present to myself. So that's what that was. Okay. I guess it's time to look at my whips, my finish, and to give you some progress on some of the stuff that I would like to do before we do our wrap up for the year. All right, our funny wrap up that I have. Okay. So whips. As I said, I introduced you to my whip board. Dun, da, da, da. So let's just pull this out. You haven't seen this whip in a while. This is the Van Gogh coffee cup. That's what it looks like. I'll take it out of the bag. Pardon the zipping. This is Van Gogh coffee cup. It is a pattern from China. And it's one of the, it is a painted fabric, colored canvas, 18 count. And it looks like this. It looks a mess. It looks a mess. But, wait, which side am I on? Oh, here it is. It goes up this way. It looks a mess. However, it's getting there. I've done all of this border up here, and now I'm starting to work inside the coffee cup there. And no, I didn't take it out of my nurge because it takes so long to get it in the nurge that I didn't want to take it out. I apologize. But this is an active whip, okay? I take this to work with me, and when I don't have a client or I have an extended lunch or something, this will be under my desk and I'll pull it out and do a little stitching on it. But this weekend I just brought it home because we've had a bunch of snow days here, so I brought it home to put it in my whip wall, to put it on my whip wall. My whip wall. Long Dog Sampler is also a whip of mine. It is Opening Gambit. I haven't worked on it at all this year. Not a single stitch has gone into that baby, so I'm not even going to bother opening it up. If you want to know what it looks like, you can look at my last whip parade from 2023, because that was probably the last time I used it. No, 2024. I started up again trying to do the back stitch on this old puppy. This is a very old whip. It's Simple Heritage, Peter Underhill. Pardon me. Yes, the individual. This is on the list to get finished. It is. But you can see I did make some progress. I did some of the sheep heads. And I did some of the little bottom parts of the sheep underneath. There's just a lot of back stitching to go around the sheep's bodies. This is going to be a finish soon. A fully finish, I don't know when, but a finish, the stitching finish soon. So that goes back on the whip board. What's in here? What else is on the whip wall? I kind of dig this whip wall thing. Oh, this is not started yet. This is Funky Chickens. A long time ago, I had a chat with somebody who wanted to do these with me. These are the Funky Chickens by Satsuma Street. I did kit it up, so I have the kit here. I have an old piece of, it looks like 18 count. It's going to be blue, and I've decided to do it on blue. It's kind of an old piece that I got at a thrift shop that has some dark stains on it, and I think I got it in a grab bag where you could put a whole bunch of different fabrics and stuff in a bag for 50 cents or something, and so it was like one of those big carrier bags. Anyway, I just grabbed it because I knew it was cross stitch material, and that's obviously why somebody gave it away to a thrift shop. But it doesn't bother me any, because with this pattern, the chicken is going to get, you know, it's going to get cut up, so it's going to be fine and sewn back together, so that'll be okay. That's on the whip wall. That's a plan. That's a plan for 2026. Those three on the top. And I think Long Dog too, I'd like to hit that whip again. I don't think I have any other active whips on this whip. Oh, well, it's not cross stitch, but it is a needlework piece. It's a needle point piece that I took a course. I took a class from a lady who has a needlework shop in Charlottesville, Virginia, and I learned some of the stitches. I mean, I learned all the stitches, but I didn't finish the project we worked on. So this is the pattern. Paisley coloring book, and it's technically needlepoint, and I still have all of my kit, and that's as far as I've gotten. Whoops. Yeah. That's as far as I've gotten. I think it's pretty good work. It's pretty good work. This needlepoint for me takes a lot longer. I have to be slow. I want the threads to lay perfectly, because in needlepoint, if the thread doesn't lay, if I don't use my lay tool and lay it flat, it looks weird. So especially on something that is this delicate and small. So yeah, I really want to finish this in 2026 because I really enjoy it, and it really slows me down to do needlepoint. And I haven't done it in a while. I think I took that class in 2022, to be honest with you, or 2021. Oh gosh, no, it was before the pandemic. Holy mackerel, it must have been 2018. Must have been 2018. Wow, that was a long time ago. This deserves to be finished, which is why it's on the whip wall. So, that is that. I don't know what this is. Oh, these are Christmas whips. Would you like to see my Christmas whips? Here's a tiny little Christmas tree that needs to be finished in the next week or so. It's a Christmas whip. I'm going to finish that one this week. What else? I think these are just leftover pieces of cloth. I have a lot of Christmassy patterns that go with these colors. And what's interesting about this is that I don't know where those Xerox copies of the, I have the fabric, I have the DMC colors, and I have one mini whip to finish, and I don't know where the paper is that has all the different ones. Oh, maybe I'll just put the, I know, I'll just put the one from, I'll just put this one in there. That's what I'll do. Yeah, I'll just put the gathered free pattern in there, and I'll work on it. I'll do fa la 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 and ho ho. Oh! Okay. So those, I'll do that. That's Christmas. This is a Bothy Threads. I'm sorry, I'm coughing. I didn't mean to. This is a Bothy Threads that I got in Maine when I was visiting Sarah the Northwood Stitcher. And I got this at a place called Martin's. And I started it at her house. But I haven't stitched it since. And I think that was, Sarah, when did I visit? 2022, right? No, 2024? 2024, right? Yeah. 2022, 23, 24? Hike? I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, it's still in the hoop. Oh, that's bad, Campbell. You shouldn't be doing this. I treat my patterns terribly. Please don't look. You're going to be cringing. Don't look. Don't look. Okay. I think that's the direction it goes. What direction up? That's the direction up. Huh. Anyway. I think it goes that way. Anyway, and there's a needle in there. Oh, Campbell, take your needle out of the fabric, honey. Oh, I'm sorry, Sarah. Okay, put that there. Put the needle in the paper, not in the thread. Okay. Anyway, it's very pretty. The fabric is pretty. The colors are pretty. It took me a long time to kit this up. I'm not sure what the deal is with Bothy. I couldn't figure out what number went to what thing, and I had to sort of create my own. This is called the Macintosh Panel Lovebirds. For those of you that, oh, and it's upside down. Just like me, it's a little upside down. It's a really nice pattern. And it won't take me very long if I could just get it done. So that's on the 2026 whip wall to finish. Yes, yes. Oh, and the little scissors that I got in Maine too are in here. I got these cute little scissors in Maine as well. With little. Yes, I got these at Martin's too. Martin's. I want to say Martin's, but it's Martin's. Anyway. This is on the 2026 whip wall, folks. To be done. The other ones have not been started. Those are ones that I will talk about after I show you the other whips that I'm working on. Because they're kits, but they haven't even been started yet. So, steampunk, nothing's been done on steampunk. It is still the same as it was the last video that you saw a few months ago. The reason that I haven't done anything on steampunk is because I've been working a lot on Soul and Intellect, and I will go pick that up and bring that to you now. There she is. I am almost done with page 2 of Soul and Intellect. There she is. Yeah, she's coming right along. There you go. I will post a picture for those of you that don't remember what she looks like full coverage. And that she's been my main since I saw you. I've been working on her to try and figure page 2, but I was getting close to finishing that second page, as you can tell. Campbell, what happened, you might say? Well, I'll show you what happened. What happened was Campbell went on the Black Friday Etsy sale of Cross Stitch, where a bunch of patterns were only $1.59 or $1.79, and I fell in love with a new pattern. And it just happens to be a full coverage because I loved the colors and it was very beautiful. And I thought, wow, maybe I'll do this and give it to my sister, or maybe I'll do it and put it on my wall. I call this pattern Meditating Jesus, but actually the name of the pattern is Colorful Jesus. Oh, guys, look at those colors. Holy mackerel. I'm not a Christian girl, right? I'm not a Jesus girl, but a meditating Jesus? Bring it on. Absolutely. This is the kind of Jesus I want. Yes. All right. So this is by ZannaCrossStitch. Colorful Jesus. It says 8 of 14 white. I'm not doing it on 14. Of course I'm doing it on 18 because that's my jam. It is 180 wide by 100 high, which is small. Literally, there are 3 pattern pages this size. And it's the smallest full coverage I've ever really worked on. And I think it is going extremely fast. And the proof of that is this. Because that's the first panel. And I'm almost like this full page. I did that in like since the December, let's see, December 7th is when I started this. I started it on my birthday. And that's the bottom of the first page. And then there's there's like 2 more rows under here of the back page. There's like 10, 20, 30, 40, 10, 20, 30, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like there's 600 stitches at the bottom. But basically, that's like a week's worth of stitch. Like, it goes so fast, and I am really enjoying it. I'm doing it on 18 count cream Aida. And yeah, I'm really digging it. There it is, Colorful Jesus. I'm calling him Meditating Jesus. On my calendar board, I'm putting MJ. MJ, come on down and dance. Okay, the other one that I started, I haven't really started. I mean, I did kind of start. There's a friend of mine at work, and I hope she's not watching. Elizabeth, Beth, if you're watching, turn off. Okay. She has become dear to me, and she loves sloths. It's her thing. She loves sloths. So on the Etsy page on Black Friday, when it was only $1.79 a pattern, I went to Shine Star Cross Stitch. It's not Shining Star, it's Shine Star. SHINE star, all one word, and then X STTCH. It's a 200 by 200 pattern, and Shine Star X Stitch. Now, I'm not into the latest Disney cartoon, but I think this is a character. I think there's a character named Sloth in some of these cartoons somewhere. And I don't watch them, but I thought this was adorable. And I think Beth will really like it. So I'm going to do it on 18 count, of course. And I'm doing it on this beautiful brown. And you can see that I was starting it today. I did about 4 half stitches on it. That is my itty bitty, really like pathetic start. But look at how beautiful the fabric is. This fabric was gifted to me by a viewer, and it was several years ago, 2 years ago, I guess. And hey, honey, I'm finally using your fabric. Thank you. It's beautiful. It's beautifully dyed. It's 18 count. I absolutely adore it, and I'm just looking forward to it. And I put it in this nurge because I won't have to move the nurge. It's literally only going to be this big and this big. So I thought this will be a December stitch. This and the MJ are my two new secret stitches. Yes, I know. I'm listening to steampunk behind me going, but what about me? But what about me? Don't you love me anymore? I love you, steampunk cat daddy. I do. I will get back to you. I promise. Dude, I promise. Okay. So there's that. Are you ready for a full finish? Guess who's finished? Guess who got finished? She got finished and she is not quite ironed properly, but I'm going to show you anyway. Dun 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 dun. Wacky girl. She's done. She's done. Yay. And I am going to keep her. I'm going to keep her. I'm going to make her into a pillow. And I am looking for the back of the pillow, I think is going to be, I'm looking for sort of this blue for the back of the pillow. And I'd like to find something that's in like this kind of green, turquoisey green, to do around the edge. What do you call that? Piping. Thank you. See, I heard you. I know. You just screamed at the screen. Piping, Campbell, piping. I heard you. Piping. So around the edge. And then the back is going to be the blue. And I was thinking like maybe a checkerboard blue. What's that called? Gingham. Yes. Thank you. I heard you. Gingham. So yeah. Isn't she great? I had so much fun doing her. This pattern was done on 18 count. Oh, you know what this, it's like, I call it paper bag. Anyway, it's the 18 count Aida with the kind of brown stitchies in the middle of it. It's sort of like tractor dirt kind of color. I don't know. Anyway, I love it. And she is, ta-da! All right. I also, she goes on the hanger with my other finishes from the year. This is my, oops, my finishes hanger. So remember I finished What's Up Duck? And I finished this year? These were finishes this year, guys. I finished Sugar Skull Cat, and I finished What's Up Duck, and I finished Wacky Girl. It's fantastic. I'm so excited. Those were my 3 finishes this year. Well, of course I finished Eden. Oh yes. Oh yes, Eden was a huge finish. Ugh. And she is on the wall at my work. I look at her every day. I actually put my client sofa below her. So while I'm thinking about something, I look up to her. She sort of oversees my therapy sessions now. So Eden is in my office. So there was one other thing that I finished in 2025. If you recall, in February, I finished the W.E.B. Du Bois statistics from the 1900 Paris exhibition. And I framed it and I gave it to my friend Christina. And she is now doing her residency. She no longer works at our office, and I'm so excited for you, Christina. I hope you are enjoying the stitch, and it was a pleasure to stitch it for you this past February in honor of W.E.B. Du Bois and Black History Month. It was amazing. It was a great stitch. Speaking of finished stitches, do you remember this? It wasn't on my list, but I just saw it and I wanted to pull it out. Remember? I wonder how many orts I'll have by the end of the year. Okay, this was a little bit of a grandiose box to put orts in for this year, but I have to say, I did pretty well. There's a lot of orts in here, but not nearly enough to fill up a box, right? So, anyway, but look at all the colors. These are 2025 orts. Ta-da! They're kind of pretty. I know that some people get the hollow plastic Christmas balls, and I'm thinking of doing that if I can find them. I might look online and see if I can find something cheap. And they put them in the Christmas balls. Like they get the hollowed out clear plastic Christmas trees or something, and they put the orts in there. I think I might do that. I might do that. I did buy a Christmas tree, a faux Christmas tree from Michael's this year with the lights already on it. So you will see that. And so maybe I will have my 2025 ornaments will be orts from, and for those of you that don't know what orts is, I don't know why they call them orts. It's like it's based on some French word for strands of thread. Hi, it's future editing Campbell here. Sweetheart, I'm so embarrassed by you sometimes. ORT stands for old ratty threads. I know, it's getting late. You've been filming a long time. It's time to wrap it up. Let people go home. Let people finish stitching. Let people go to the bathroom, Campbell. Let people go to bed. Don't talk to them about orts. Just stop. 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 It's the leftover little pieces of thread when you clip off, when you're done with it, you clip it and you throw it away. Well, don't throw it away. Put it in a Christmas ornament. That's what we do. Recycle, reuse. But they're so pretty. They're really quite delightful, except there's a lot of blue. I want to mix that in. So now I'm going to get all obsessed about, oh, I got to mix all the colors in, and I got to, yeah. Anyway, that's a lot of DMC, dude. Anyway, it was a fun year of stitching. There it is. And I have 2.5 more weeks left. And 2025. All of these orts remind me of all of the thoughts I had while I was stitching. You know, all of these little pieces of thread and what I was thinking about and where I was stitching, and oh, my fabric dyeing this year too. That was fun. I did fabric dyeing this year for the first time as well. Again, for those of you that were with me on the journey, it was fun, right? For those of you that have no idea, look at some of the past videos, you'll see. It was fun, and I will do more of that. I think I'd like to do more fabric dyeing in 2026. I think some of these patterns that are in kits, I would like to do, at least put my fingers on in 2026. And I'll show you. I've already showed you Funky Chicken. The next one that is kitted up in here is the sampler Dog's Declaration. I'm doing it on 22 count even weave tea dye. Speaking of fabric that I dyed this year. So it's this tea dye, even weave, and I am doing Dog's Declaration sampler on there, which is Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Squirrels. And that is a pattern that is done by Ink Circles, and I bought it and printed it out online. So I'm going to do Dog's Declaration is kitted up and ready to go on this tea dyed fabric. And that is right here. There. The other one that I kitted up is that has the fabric is the floss is also in this box, is the other one that I asked you guys to tell me which one I should start, and many people said do the Stewart sampler. And it's the other piece of tea dyed 22 count even weave. And this is the other piece, because that piece was a huge piece of tea dye. And so this is the other side of that, the other half of that, sorry, fabric. And this is the Stewart sampler, and it looks like this. and it has lots of new stitches in it, which I think will be really beautiful to do. And it has all of the stitches on the back for how to do them. Each section has a different type of stitch. So yeah, Beside the Hearth, Janet Morse is the creator of this. This was a pattern I found at a thrift shop. There's that one. This one is also kitted up for 2026. It's actually a shame because it's a Christmas sampler. So bad news is I was hoping to get this done this year, this Christmas, but it's not going to happen. Good news is I might be able to get it done by Christmas next year in 2026. And it's a Long Dog sampler called Dawn Chorus. I am doing it on 18 count, of course. What is the name of this type of fabric? I wish I knew. I wish I could find the name of it. It's the one that I called muddy tractor fabric. The same one I did Wacky Girl on, same 18 count. Can somebody please tell me what, Fiddler? Is that what it's called, Fiddler? Did I just hear you yell at me? Fiddler, Campbell! 18 count Fiddler. Okay, all right. That's what's in the kit. And then these are the flosses that I got from 123 Stitch that match this pattern. So it's 293 by 126 stitches. So maybe I'll get it done by next Christmas. I don't know. Anyway, I'm looking forward to that. And that's kitted up and ready to roll. Another one that's kitted up and ready to roll that I really wanted to do because I saw, maybe it's Laura in Australia. Her Flosstube channel, I always talk about Laura because she was my very first ever Flosstuber. My second Flosstuber that I ever got attached to was Sarah in the Northwood Stitcher, but Laura was my first, and she was the first person that ever emailed me back. It was so amazing that she actually emailed me back, and we emailed and we texted. It was fun. It was fun for a while, and now she's like a big Flosstube star. So, and she does like lives and everything. Like she's way ahead of me in the whole Flosstube journey. But anyway, Laura, I wish you well. I know that you maybe, I think she started this one. She has a channel called I Stitch Birds, if you don't know her. And I think she started this. And I bought the kit because I really loved it, but I didn't know she was going to do it. I just bought it because I liked it. It was an RTO, and I just really liked it. So instead of the fabric that it came in, I put a piece of 18 count cream Aida in the bag, and it came with floss. So it's all kitted up and ready to go. I just took out the 14 count and put in 18 count Aida for myself. But this is one I would really love to jump into in 2026. Two patterns I bought recently from Abris Art online. One is this one. I don't know where I saw this. I think it was a Pinterest picture or something. I just fell in love with this pattern. That's the close-up of it. That's the close-up of it. And then the other one that I fell in love with from Abris was this one. Can you see the boat with the koi fish? Just beautiful. They're lovely patterns. I think they're from Ukraine. I don't know. What do I know? I don't know anything. Yeah, produced in Ukraine. Hey, I got it right. They're from a Ukrainian company. Yeah, these two patterns I would love to at least put my hands on and get a little bit started in 2026, if not finished. Who knows? Who knows? These are big plans, folks, big plans. that I really like. This woman is in England, Karen Carter, and they're Wacky Owls. That's one kit, Birds of a Feather. And the other kit, anyway, I just think these would be really fun to stitch. They come with 14 count, but I think of course I would have to do 18 count. Guys, I really thought I was going to start this one in October. I so didn't, did I? No, I did not. Because I got all into Soul and Intellect. But I did kit it. See, I've got my fabrics in there. I've got the 18 count switched out in there. And I've got my needles and I've got my accessory kit. It's the Riolas. It's the little Halloween mice. So if I could maybe do that next October. See, I've got a whole whipboard for the whole year next year. So this would be maybe an October stitch next year. I got from a thrift shop, and I showed this to you the last time. It's the Halloween Witch on the broom. It was already kitted up when I got it. It was $2. I'd love to be able to get that one done next October, the Witch and the Cat. This is one from a thrift shop that isn't finished. It is the Wright Brothers, December 17th, 1903. And the person in the, when I got it from the thrift shop in the stash, that I just got a box of stash and projects and stuff. This is how far they'd gotten. It's almost like all of it is almost done. It just needs a little bit more back stitching around the clouds and around some of the plane. And I'm not sure what happened with this pattern, but it's not my pattern. It's one that I inherited from a thrift shop, and that's the full picture. Oops, that's upside down. I beg your pardon. Just like me tonight, I'm a little upside down. But that's the completed picture. And I went to a retreat in North Carolina at Ocracoke, and on the drive there, we drove past Kitty Hawk. So that was kind of fun. So that's one. And then that's the witch for the other October stitch. I'll put that one in this drawer for October stitch. That's October stitch. And then Kitty Hawk is just a whip whenever I get it. This was the, you know, I may not even do this one. I may not finish this one. This was the one that came with the metal frame stand that I bought, and the Painting Fairy Cross Stitch Company. That metal frame, that green thing that I showed you, I took it apart and put it in a box. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's interesting, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Anyway, they gave me this free little kit. It's on 16 count, and that's as far as I've gotten. I'm not even sure I like it, and I'm not sure what's happening with this cat's tongue. Now, I'm going to see if I can get this close. Can you tell me what is happening? Is the mouse knitting the tongue? Is he... I don't know. It's almost passive-aggressively violent. I'm not sure. I just don't know what's happening with this cat's tongue. And I don't understand it. It's literally, I don't understand the image. Can somebody tell me? Is that a cat's tongue? Is the mouse crocheting it? What's happening in this picture? Can somebody tell me? I don't know. So until I know, I think I'm not going to continue with this pattern. I think this is going to be one of those UFO patterns, and I have never had a UFO before. I usually finish everything that I do, and I usually like everything I do, but this was a pattern that I was doing during my stitchy group on my Zoom group. I was just chatting and stitching and thinking, oh, I'll just do this, thinking it would be a really quick stitch. And it is. I did this all in one night. But seriously, I don't like it. And my life is too short to be stitching things I don't like. So this is going to go away. Thank you for helping me make that decision. But seriously, whatever this picture is, I don't know. Anyway, in the trash it goes. I know, I'm doing it live in front of you. I just threw it out. Yes, I did. It's in the trash. It's done. So that one's taken care of. Thanks for helping. Thanks for helping with that. And then this is, I don't know. Hang on. Oh. Okay, these are random things that have been finished, or kits that I started, or this is a pattern that I made for the very first time when I did my very first ever pattern maker on a PC a long time ago. And the pattern, I pulled off the internet this image, and I don't even think I still have this pattern. I pulled that image off, which I would love to do this image, seriously. If I can redo this, I will. But that was the pattern. It's so small. It's so tiny. I can't even tell you how hard it is. It's so teeny tiny, tiny, tiny. Oy. So of course, because it's 100 by 120, it's 100 across and 120 down, it's so small. So if I do this, I'm gonna have to do a lot of rebuilding around this pattern, and maybe even just redo it on my Max Stitch Pro, because now I have the updated Max Stitch Pro updated version for 2024. So, but all the floss is here. It's all the floss and the pattern. And I think I made a mess. This was back in, let's see, Molly wasn't even in high school. So it must have been 4 or 5 years ago. No, she was in middle school. So 6, 7, because I was going to do this for Molly when she graduated high school, because I'm her godmother. And so I thought this would be a good pattern for a godmother to give to a goddaughter. But I didn't get it done. So this is just a project that needs to be thought about, and it's not on the 2026 board. This is just like a sort of a future fantasy pack of something that might happen someday, somewhere. Okay, and then Long Dog, I told you that. We're going to do that 2026. So that's the whip wall and the project wall for 2026. I also have grandiose ideas about patterns I would like to make. One of the patterns I wanted to make with lettering was just one that says "Don't quit," like a sampler, a Campbell sampler that says "Don't quit," that I could put on my office wall. I think sometimes we need to be reminded. Dear Jane, who used to be on a Flosstube called Running with Stitches, or Running with Scissors. Jane used to say, just give yourself one more day and one more day and one more day. And my version of that with my clients is, don't quit before the miracle. Just don't. Because you'll miss it. You'll miss it if you quit. So keep walking. Keep going. I also have a note here that one of the samplers I wanted to do was for a teenage client I had many, many, many years ago, and I don't know where she is. Back before I worked at my public hospital where I work now, back when I was in residency and I was working with teenagers in crisis in their homes with their families, and she and I would go to graveyards and play long form gin rummy. And she used to, when I'd say, "How are you doing?" she'd say, "Meh." M-E-H, meh. So one of the things I thought about was if I create my own samplers, I wanted to have one that just says meh, which is a very, I don't know, it means a lot to me. It probably doesn't mean anything to anybody else, but to me and her, she would say it and I'd say meh, and she'd say meh. And then, we'd greet each other with like meh, meh. She was the first teenager I ever heard say that, and she had to explain to me what it was because I didn't know. Anyway, so don't quit, and with a circle around the D-O and then the I-T, so that it says don't quit, and then the circle with different colored letters for do it. Don't quit, do it. I thought about that. I'm sure somebody's already thought about that. I'm sure somebody's done that. But anyway, those were the two samplers I thought would be fun to maybe see if I could create a pattern on my own. Just little something. That would be fun for 2026 to be able to see if I could create a pattern of my own. I do have a pattern that says HALT, H-A-L-T, which stands for don't get too hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. It's a 12-step phrase that I heard when I first came into the rooms. And I have it in really pretty fonts that I hand drew and then put on a grid and then put on the copier, and it's a mess. I should just do it on the computer, but I don't know how to translate it from the hand drawing of it to the computer. I don't really know how to do that, so maybe I'll figure that out in 2026 too and get that done. I even chose the colors for that, but I didn't. I got chicken. I got frightened of it somehow, and I didn't finish it. Anyway, those are my big plans for 2026. All right. Let me take a pause here, and we'll do our top 10 list of things that my inner cross-stitcher said to me this year. And when I say inner cross-stitcher, that's a little bit of a take on the parts work. For those of you that know IFS, or internal family systems therapy. In internal family systems therapy, you talk to the different parts, the different ages, the different personalities that we all have inside of us from different ages and or different times in our life. And some of us have a critical part, some of us have a goofy teenager part, some of us have a resistant part, some of us have a delinquent part, some of us have an obsessive cross-stitcher part. And my obsessive cross-stitcher part was very present this year because I was doing a lot of stitching almost every single day. So I was hearing a bunch of stuff. And it just became funny to me that these sort of thoughts or these tropes would come up all the time. So here we are. Drum roll, please. Top 10 things my inner cross-stitcher told me in 2025. Number 10. A day without cross-stitch makes Campbell a grumpy girl. Number 9. I'm just going to put one more color in and then I'll go pee. Number 8. It would be easier if I just tied off this thread now, but I can stitch it down some more, don't you think? What could go wrong? Number 7. Yes, indeed, I like my fabric tight, tight, tight. Number 6. 18 count Ada is my jam. Which I've said like 5 times in this video already. Number 5. A lint roller really needs to be part of my accessories in every kit. Number 4. I'll never live long enough to finish all these whips. But ooh, hey, maybe just one more new start tonight. Number 3. Oh heck, I've got FOMO CST again. That stands for fear of missing out on cross-stitching tonight. Number 2. What do you mean saliva isn't a valid coating when dealing with fuzzy floss? Ever heard of DMC 310? Number 1. Yes, I do need to buy all those lifetime pattern packages from all those creators on Etsy. That's goofy. But thank you for listening, and thank you for being here. And if there was something that made you laugh or smile or gave you some entertainment while you were stitching, I'm happy. I'm happy that you were here. And I'm happy that you were stitching along while I was being goofy tonight. And I wish you all the best for the end of the year and for all of your stitching and all of your family, and blessings for 2026. May your stitching be filled with loving kindness. May your stitching create peace and ease in your mind. May your stitching be comfortable and bring you great joy. May you be well. May you be happy. May you be free from suffering, my friend. Stitch on, and I'll see you next time.